Hello, all my storytime friends. I'm so happy you're here with me today. Today, I have some books for you to talk about when you're feeling worried. Because sometimes, like this time, it can be very scary to have all these big changes going on and to not know what's happening next. So, these stories are some ones that talk about change and how that can be good and how you can be brave against big monsters, even if they're not always what they seem. And then one of my favorite stories that's not quite a picture book, but it has a lot of calming and just relaxing feels to it, especially with friends. Let's get started. Our first book today is Beau the Brave by Bethan Wolven. Beau lived with her older brothers, Eric and Ivar, in a land of mountains and forests. Eric and Ivar were hunters, and one day they set off on a quest to catch a monster. Please, can I come with you? I want to catch a monster too, begged Beau. You must stay home, said Ivar. Besides, Eric sneered, you're far too little. Well, she just wants to go with her brothers and be brave like them. Beau went to her room and sulked. I'm not too little, she thought. I'm smart and brave and strong. And so Beau crept out of the castle to catch a monster of her own. She just wants to show off her brave skills. Deep in the forest, Beau caught a glimpse of a strange creature. Beware, you horrid monster! I'm Beau the Brave, she shouted as she quickly drew an arrow and aimed. Get ready to be got. Me? A monster? Certainly not, the creature replied. I'm the griffin. Now lower your bow. I mean you no harm. Did she lower her bow? Beau was suspicious. The griffin looked like a monster. You seem lost. Can I help you find your way? He asked politely. He is far too helpful to be a monster, thought Beau, so she told the griffin about her quest. I heard the sea is full of monsters, the griffin said, and so they set off to find one. It wasn't long before they spotted another strange creature. Beware, you slimy monster! I'm Beau the Brave. Beau stretched out to capture the beast beneath the waves. Get ready to be. But she leaned over too far and toppled overboard. Oh no! You simply must learn to swim, the sea creature bellowed, plucking Beau from the waves. And me, a monster? Don't be ridiculous. I am the Kraken. I mean you no harm. Beau was suspicious. The Kraken looked like a monster and smelled like a monster, but a true monster wouldn't have saved her. She is far too nice to be a monster, thought Beau. So Beau told the Kraken about her quest. I heard that monsters live in caves, the Kraken said, and so they set off to find one. You think they're gonna find a monster in the next one? The cave? Let's find out. Well, now, this creature looked like a monster, and it smelled like a monster, and goodness, it certainly sounded like a scary monster. Roar! Oh, what is this going to be? But as Beau crept closer, she noticed something odd. Instead of being angry, the creature was crying. I'm sorry, said Beau. I didn't mean to upset you. I thought you were a monster. No, I'm just a dragon, a deep voice replied. And you haven't upset me. My poor baby was stolen, and I can't find him anywhere. He is far too caring to be a monster, thought Beau. I can help. I'm Beau the Brave, and I think I know just where we can find your baby. Anybody would be upset if they lost their baby. Beau and her new friend swooped off to look for the dragon's baby. My baby must be over there, cried the dragon. He always gets fiery when he's scared. And so they headed up toward the burning castle. As they landed, Beau spotted her brothers, Eric and Ivar. They didn't look or smell or sound like monsters, but they were certainly acting like monsters. Beware, you nasty beasts, shouted Beau. I'm Beau the Brave. Get ready to be got. And with that, she threw the water over the flames and her monstrous brother. The monsters weren't who we probably thought they would be. Let that baby dragon go, yelled Beau. These creatures are helpful and nice and caring. We shouldn't be hunting them. Eric and Ivar were so relieved not to have been eaten that they agreed to never go monster hunting again. Sit down. Betty's happy. From then on, Beau loved roaming the land and learning about all the amazing creatures she came across, with the help of her brothers, of course. Because Beau wasn't too little. She was smart, she was strong, she was Beau the Brave. The end. It was a sweet book. Anybody can be brave, when things look scary at first. Sometimes when you take another look, they aren't so scary after all. So we have to remember to sometimes be a little bit more observant and watch out and see what's going on. Because once you maybe give it a try or talk to somebody, they might not be just as scary as you thought. Next, we have a very good classic. This is actually my copy. The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. Now, I know at first this might not seem like a book about when you're worried, because this is about a caterpillar. But there's some stuff about change in here that I think is very important. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. On one Sunday morning, the warm sun came up and pop! Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. Boy. Oh boy. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a stomach ache. Yeah, he had a lot of food. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf, and after that he felt much better. Just slowed down on all the variety there. Picked something very good for him and healthy. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, and he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and you think happened? What do you think happened? He was a beautiful butterfly. Look at that. The end. So one reason why I really like this is because it talks about change. And even though it wasn't as a scary change for the caterpillar in this one, it shows that change can sometimes be really good. You know, this caterpillar started off one way and ended up more beautiful than before. So just remember and keep that in mind that sometimes change is okay, even if it doesn't look like that way at first. You still have a lot of stuff that can happen to make it better. Like I said, this one isn't necessarily a picture book like I've been reading, but one of my favorites. And again, another copy that I have called Frog and Toad Are Friends. If you're a little bit older, you may recognize this. This is an early reader kind of book. And I'm going to pick one of my favorite stories here that I really like. This has a couple of different chapters that are like different stories here. This one is called The Letter. Toad was sitting on his front porch. Frog came along and said, "What is the matter, Toad? You are looking sad." "Yes," said Toad, "this is my sad time of day. It is the time when I wait for the mail to come. It always makes me very unhappy." "Why is that?" asked Frog. "Because I never get any mail," said Toad. "Not ever?" asked Frog. "No, never," said Toad. "No one has ever sent me a letter. Every day my mailbox is empty. That is why waiting for the mail is a sad time for me." Frog and Toad sat on the porch, feeling sad together. Necessarily worried, but not a good time going on right now. Being sad because he doesn't get any mail. Then Frog said, "I have to go home now, Toad. There is something I must do." Frog hurried home. He found a pencil and a piece of paper. He wrote on that paper. He put the paper in an envelope. On the envelope, he wrote, "A letter for Toad." Frog ran out of his house. He saw a snail that he knew. "Snail," said Frog, "please take this letter to Toad's house and put it in his mailbox." "Sure," said the snail, "right away." Being a good friend there. Then Frog ran back to Toad's house. Toad was in bed, taking a nap. "Toad," said Frog, "I think you should get up and wait for the mail some more." "No," said Toad, "I'm tired of waiting for the mail." Frog looked out of the window at Toad's mailbox. The snail was not there yet. "Toad," said Frog, "you never know when someone may send you a letter." "No, no," said Toad, "I do not think anyone will ever send me a letter." Aw, Toad is really, really upset about that. Frog looked out the window, but Snail was not there yet. "But Toad," said Frog, "someone may send you a letter today." "Don't be silly," said Toad. "No one has ever sent me a letter before, and no one will send me a letter today." Frog looked out of the window. The snail was still not there. "Frog, why do you keep looking out of the window?" asked Toad. "Because now I am waiting for the mail," said Frog. "But there will not be any," said Toad. "Oh, yes, there will," said Frog, "because I have sent you a letter." "You have?" said Toad. "What did you write in the letter?" Frog said, "I wrote, 'Dear Toad, I am glad that you are my best friend. Your best friend, Frog.'" "Oh," said Toad, "that makes a very good letter." Then Frog and Toad went out on the front porch and to wait for the mail. They sat there feeling happy together. Frog and Toad waited a long time. 4 days later, the snail got to Toad's house and gave him the letter from Frog. Toad was very pleased to have it. Ah, and Frog and Toad are one of my favorite series, but I like that one a lot because sometimes you just need a friend to be with you and to listen. And sometimes you might have a very good friend who does something good to cheer you up when you're not feeling like yourself. Very important that you pay attention to your feelings. Now, anxiety and worry sometimes come from, again, fear of the unknown. So, adults, who are your caregivers for all these children watching, be sure to kind of pay attention to what's going on if you really haven't been. Sometimes these anxiety feelings can come up not only with words, but with physical signs as well. Stuff like pacing, rapid heartbeat, we might get tearful, facial expressions. Now, I'm no expert for a doctor in replacement of that, but this is just some general research that I've done, and I do have a social work background. So just things to kind of watch out for. Some other stuff that I've read about are validating those fears, not to dismiss them. Just like, don't worry, it'll be okay. Those don't always help. So sometimes saying just like, I know you're uncomfortable, and those are scary feelings. Those may help make your child feel a little bit more comfortable when you're talking with them. Some things you can do to help if you're really worried about stuff could be deep breathing for a while. That can help calm down the heart rate. Muscle relaxation, laying down and slowly working through your body at squeezing tight those muscles and then relaxing them. Stress balls or squishies could be helpful, especially if you have to be quieter. Some of those things, just putting it in your hand, a little manipulative, may help. And if you have an older child, helping them write it out, that also could be helpful. If you feel like these are things that you need to talk more about or are more constant, make sure you talk with your doctor though too. Hopefully that some of these stories will help you feel a little bit braver, a little less worried in the world. And you can always let the library know too what makes you feel better. These are some of my favorite books, and I hope you can feel a little bit braver and more willing to accept change and have a friend help you when you need it. Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening. I'm Miss Nikki, and thank you for joining me for my story time. Bye.